house that is haunted. Right from the start, dear, built on an acre of sand.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us again. I'm Zada.
And I'm Kelly, and you're listening to
Two Sides and the Truth. This is a random Saturday episode. We have had a great day today, and we decided just because we had time to go ahead and record. And we're going to go right into something because we have a little special guest.
Yes.
And he's on a time limit. So we're going to get in there real quick. And we're going to talk about girl and guy code.
Yep.
So we're going to start with girl code.
Yes.
We're probably going to go into guy code and then maybe back to girl code because we don't want to make him wait.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. So anyone familiar with girl code or guy code? No, that means when you're with your friend, your like close friend, when you go out, what are the rules?
Yeah. Everybody might have different ones too, or some that they go by and some that they don't. But
yes.
I learn them as we go. But we can go right into it.
With him?
Yeah.
So we're going to call Rick's brother Brad. I'm going to put this out there. He is nothing like Rick. Like, am I wrong?
No.
Do they have anything in common?
I mean, they're cute.
They're cute and they can fight.
They got some good genes.
They're cute and they can fight. That's it. But yeah, they're very, very different from each other.
Yes.
But Brad's awesome and he's funny and he's entertaining. So I was like, we were talking about what guy we can call. I was like, Brad's it. That's who we need to call.
Yeah.
So we're going to call Brad and we're going to find out about guy code and then we'll go into girl code. How's that?
Sounds good to me.
All right. So y'all about to meet Brad. This is quicker than I told him. I was like, we'll call you in 20 minutes. It's like 2 minutes. We lied.
Well, another thing of girl code, we have no perception of time.
None at all. He'll probably answer pretty quick. This is Bradley. All right, you're on the air now, Brad. We made it quick. We decided to go straight into guy code and then we'll go into girl code so you don't have to sit outside a bar and wait for us.
All right.
But you're on air now. So what we're talking about is girl and guy code, and we're talking about what like if you're going out and about with your girls or your guys, the differences between what guys consider guy code and what the girls consider girl code. You don't have to sit through the girl code part because I know you're just who wants to sit here and listen to a phone call about that for 40 minutes.
Hey, listen, I love to sit here and talk to you ladies. You ladies are amazing and you're fun to talk to. I never mind that whatsoever.
Aww. See, I did warn them that you're nothing like Rick to prepare for that.
Listen, Rick's a big deal and people love him. So
that is very true.
We do have a lot of people who are team
Our
Rick.
Listeners have been telling us, we've been talking about doing merch, and one of the main merch ideas the listeners have given us to is I only listen for Rick stories.
Yes, I don't blame them.
Yeah.
I got a few. I won't say on the air, but I got some great Rick stories. But
I do too. I don't.
But
say
again,
a lot of them.
What we're talking about, guy code, I'm not going to repeat those stories because that's my brother. You know what I mean?
Thank you. I don't want to hear them probably. You just keep those to yourself. He likes to tell me all the time, any conversation about anyone we've ever dated before we met is, I've never dated anyone. I was a virgin. That's what he likes to tell me. And you were too. I'm like, me and my 4 kids. Okay, we'll go with that.
Virgin Mary over here.
Yeah, we'll just stick with that. So tell us guy code. When you go out with your guys, what's your guy code? What is the main rules? Let's say the top 3 rules. If you can come up with 3.
Well, I think what it is, I think the difference between guy code and girl code is guy code, if you see a guy out with a girl that's not his girl, you don't run and tell. Like, it's not your business to tell. And I think you kind of hit that point a few times before in some of your other podcasts, but it's not your story to tell.
Yeah.
And I think that's the difference between guys and girls. Like, girls will run and tell.
Oh, they be snapping pictures, getting on Instagram, uploading a photo, tagging you.
100%. But for guys, it's like, you know what? I don't know what's going on with them. Not my business, not saying anything. But I kind of feel like that's guys in general just not gossiping.
Yeah.
What if you saw a guy you're friends with girl out with a different guy?
Are you asking your guy?
Are you following the same code?
Yeah. I mean, does it go
How's
both
that work?
ways?
Wait, what's that question?
If you let's say you saw a guy that you're friends with, you saw his significant other girl out with a different guy.
Yeah. What's your move then?
For me, it's not any different.
Yes.
me-
that is good. That's good.
Yeah, you're fair.
I like it. when people are fair.
I keep my business, and other people's business, that's their business. I have, and I've been in a situation before where I've seen one of my friends' girls out in public, hanging out, having a girls' night, and she asked me after she bought me a drink, by the way, hey, we're having a girls' night. Please don't tell my significant other that you saw me out. And I said, all right, cool, no problem. Because I'd play the same game if it was him saying, hey, please don't tell my significant other we're out hanging out. No problem.
Yeah.
But then it came back and turned on me because she told her significant other, I saw your friend Brad that you're real close with, and he hit me up and he was like, man, I can't believe you didn't tell me that you saw my girl out. It's just not my business to tell.
Right. And it's a girls' night. Who cares about a girls' night?
Situation.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, yeah, who cares unless there's some other things going on, which apparently there's some underlying things going on, which I didn't know. But I wasn't still safe, and she was the one that went back and kind of told that she saw me, and my buddy was wondering why I didn't let him know. But it's just one of those things. Like, it's none of my business. I don't run and tell anything.
That's fair.
That's very admirable.
But I think another part of the guy code is, you know, if you're going to play the game, you better know the rules. And rules vary for different people. It just depends. But for me, I don't have to be secretive. I don't have to do anything. I'm very open with whoever I'm with, and the things I do, anybody can know about it, because I feel like I live my life like anybody's looking into it.
Yeah.
And I don't have to be secretive, but not everybody lives by that.
Not everybody does, and not everybody's doing something wrong that are secretive. Maybe their partner is difficult. You know what I mean? Sure. Like,
yeah.
It happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What other guy codes do y'all have? Like, what else would you say that y'all is important?
Well, clearly, like, the first thing that anybody that's going to be listening to this podcast that is a guy is girls before hoes, right? Like, that's
Amen.
Well, we said that, you know, her and I were talking about this beforehand, and I don't know if you can hear it on the phone. Oh, there's claps going on. The audience is going wild. One of the things we talked about is, like, girls have a code typically where you don't sleep with someone that's already slept with your friend. Like, you try to avoid that. But guys don't always have that same code.
I don't think they have the same code.
Is that a code guys have? Like, what's the rule?
Well, it's a thing. It depends on the character of the person, not just guy or girl whatsoever. It depends on the character of the person.
Yeah. For
me, I would never do something like that to any of my friends, and I hope none of my friends would. But if you really don't care about the person, then you go in whatever direction is easy for you. If you can hook up with somebody, why not?
Play that field.
There you go.
Hey, play ball, Cowboys.
I always felt like it was the difference between if it was a significant other or if it was just someone that they casually had a thing with.
Yeah, true. Like, didn't date, or it's not like an ex-wife or something like that.
Yeah, it's not someone somebody they've been invested in before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, guys have
levels to everything.
That's true.
There's levels to everything, and if how desperate you're feeling, you're doing desperate measures calls for desperate reactions.
True. I mean,
yeah, we have not touched base with you since the fall of Little Brad. The listeners know the story of Little Brad because the cactus. And,
oh yeah, I know Little Brad.
Yeah, and so Little Brad's cactus recently has gone limp.
He's recently passed away.
And whenever you say that, I can see her hand go limp. By the way, like,
you listened.
And it breaks my heart.
You should see the picture, because it's the funniest damn picture you've ever seen. When she showed me the picture, I lost my shit. I'm not going to lie. Bless its heart.
This is not a good representation of myself. And I'm gonna call the news on y'all about this because it's not okay.
Well, he was making you look really good for a long time.
Yeah,
man.
but then he lost his head.
But he came back even stronger still, man. But I'm sorry.
But then he was gone
sorry
again.
to tell you that
He's gone. He's gone. He's limp.
He had a good run.
Oh no!
He's had a good run.
It was
What a
sad.
prick.
I'll send you a picture. What a prick. All right. Well, thank you, Brad. We just wanted like a man's perspective, and we were trying to think of men to call. And I was like, we need to call Brad. This is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, guys keep to themselves. Girls are gonna gossip, and I think that's the difference between guys code and girls code. But I appreciate y'all calling me, and I love y'all's podcast. There are some great women.
Thank you so much.
Cheers to y'all.
Well, thank you. And cheers to you. And you and Lonnie have a fantastic weekend.
We'll talk about our breakup in another podcast, but thank y'all.
Okay, we're gonna call you back. All right.
This is another episode. I'm gonna need you to come back on
We're
that.
gonna call you back.
I'm still not. I'm still.
I love you, single listeners out there.
Oh, Brad, we just said how handsome you were.
I mean,
I
we
said-
did.
I appreciate it.
I said before you got on the air, I said Brad and Rick really have nothing in common, and Kelly's like, they're both cute, and I was like, okay, they are both cute. But and they both can fight. That's
Well,
what we
cheers,
said.
y'all.
That's what we agreed on. All right, cheers. We will
Bye,
talk to you
Brad.
later.
Bye.
Bye.
Later.
All right, Brad's gone. That's so funny. Okay, I didn't mean to do that. I had no idea they broke up.
Bum bum bum.
I just met her.
Y'all getting all the tea today.
I didn't even know the tea. I just
You
okay.
just spilled that all over the place.
I went from the third least. I was the third least favorite of the son's girlfriends to the second.
Yeah.
There's only three.
Got that mushroom, girl.
I'm always going to be in last. I'll just put that out there. But yeah,
Well, you want to go into talking about some of our girl codes, things that we can think of?
I do. So Kelly and I were talking about it, and Kelly had mentioned a few things, and one of the big ones was, you go first because this was your idea, and I just feel like you need to own it.
The reason that this was actually girl code was on our last week's plate, but we just didn't get to it because we were having some fun with Ashlyn. So
That is true.
But what brought it up to me is because one of the things that girls will do is girl code. When you go to somewhere, if you are driving with somebody and they're driving you somewhere, you leave with that same person. So you leave with who you came with. Mm-hmm. That's girl code. Okay. Now that can be altered. So like if I went somewhere with you, you would feel totally safe with letting me ride home with Mary Lee if we met Mary Lee out somewhere.
Yes.
Or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could pass the baton.
But I wouldn't pass the baton and leave myself alone either.
Oh, that's true. But I'm just saying, you would let me ride home with her and you would be okay with that.
In this day and age, it is just too risky to be out alone.
It's so true. And that's one of the biggest things with girl code. When it comes to being out and about girl code, that's one thing is you leave with who you came with.
Mm-hmm.
You're never left alone. You don't just, okay, I got to go. So bye.
And don't leave a friend. It's
Call
every
your-
major murder like mystery thing where they're like, and then her friend's ready to leave, but she wasn't.
Yeah, right.
And she never makes
She
it home.
decided to stay and have one more drink at the bar and just
With that cute boy.
walk to the train station.
And
they
we
found
never saw her again.
Right?
Or yeah.
So you don't leave your friend and tell them, oh, they can just get an Uber. No, if you don't want to drive them back home, you can wait while their Uber comes and picks them up. Okay.
Yes.
You don't leave leave a man behind or a woman behind.
A woman behind.
Another one is like when you're out, this doesn't always happen, but going to the bathroom alone, girls tend to, you have to have a buddy system.
Right. And guys always tease about that.
They
They're
really
like, why do you
do.
have to go together? Well, because it's safer.
It really is. You have to think about that. And it's the times that you're not thinking and you're, oh, I'm fine. It's not a big deal. That's the time that you get murdered or get shanked or, you know what I mean?
Something happens.
So it's always good to have somebody that has your six. Okay. Somebody that's going to be at least, they don't have to go in, but standing there waiting like they're going in next. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when it's a multiple stall situation, you got
Somebody been drinking and you know what?
looking
I don't
out-
know if you've ever noticed, but it always seems like there's almost always an exit door next to the bathrooms.
Yes.
And then there's your problem because they can just push you out the
You're
exit
just
door.
in and out. Boom.
Yeah, you're gone.
Nobody saw.
Yeah.
You're just a blur in the video surveillance camera.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
it. Another one is nobody. What is it? You don't mess with other people's boyfriends or husbands.
Yes. Yeah.
That's a biggie. Okay.
Yeah. We didn't,
They are off limits. You can love them and you can be like, oh my gosh, they're awesome. You can compliment them. Oh
I
my
don't even
gosh.
feel like I have friends that I'm friends with their significant others, but I'm not going to like text them. I'm not going to send them a meme. I'm not going to like friend request them on Facebook even. Like if their husband friends request me, which is not unusual because I do the podcast, but even before the podcast, I've always used it as a blog, as Facebook. So when I got friend requests from husbands, almost always they were like, hey, I told my husband to friend request you because I thought he would find it funny. Or I read him your things and he finds it funny. And I've had men say that. I know you don't know my wife, but I think she'd find you funny.
Yeah.
And that's cool. But I would never request a friend's husband or boyfriend.
Yeah.
Never.
It's very true. I
weird.
wouldn't either.
Yeah.
And if you're going to, another thing, like the conversation thing, like there's no real reason for you to have ongoing conversations unless everybody's involved or it's a specific situation like, somebody leaving their phone and hey, contact me.
Yeah.
Instead.
Oh yeah. Well, that's a perfect example because Dante and I only talk when Kelly's lost a phone or she's like missing-ish.
Yes. Have you seen Kelly?
Yeah. Do you know, when was the last time you saw her? Okay. She lost, and I'll be like, by the way, she lost her phone. She's safe. I dropped her off here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's
important
cool.
situation.
And actually that's a really good example because it's important that significant others do have your phone number should there be an emergency.
Yeah.
So I had an emergency a few years ago where I had to go to the emergency room because this is stupid as hell. This is like the dumbest story ever. I almost went blind because I got a cactus juice in my eye.
Oh, I remember this. That was a scary time.
It was very scary. And I couldn't call Rick to tell him what happened to me because I couldn't see. And it was kind of the last thing I was thinking of. And we didn't live together, so it wasn't that big a deal. Other than a call good night, that was pretty much our that was a Tuesday night for us. You know what I mean?
And this was like an instant thing.
I went blind instantly. Like
instant reaction.
I was snipping pieces off of a pencil cactus, and the next thing you know, I'm blind and my eyes are burning, and I'm like in the most pain ever. So I go to multiple emergency rooms for different reasons. Like the first one just was not taking care of it, and so I went to another one. I had a friend drive me. It didn't even occur to me to call Rick because we didn't live together. It was a Tuesday, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he got worried that I didn't call him, and I didn't realize how late it was either, you know. And so he went looking for me. He went to the first hospital I went to, thinking I might be there because he called the kids, and the kids were like, I don't know, she got a cactus in her eye or something. And he's thinking I got like stingers in my eye. No, I had the juice. And so he went there and he couldn't find me, not knowing I went to a different hospital in a different town. I went to Midlothian. Mm-hmm. And so that freaked him out more. My phone's blowing up. By then, my phone's dead because the batteries died. So I can't do anything. So when I finally did get a hold of him, he was mad. Not mad at me, just like,
he was worked up.
Yeah. And he was like, I went on your Facebook to get Mary's number because Mary might know something. You know what I mean? And he goes, and you have on Facebook where I can't see who your friends are.
Oh, dang.
You know how you don't have a mutual. I don't even know how I did that. Like, I don't know how that works. I don't know. That was probably how it was set when I started the Facebook. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he was like, I didn't know what to do, and I couldn't get a hold of you, and you didn't have your number available, and blah, 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 and I have your friends' numbers, and I don't have this. And so I had to give him a bunch of numbers. I was like, okay, in the future, if there's an emergency, this is who you call, you know.
That's smart.
Yeah. But do I have anyone in his family's numbers besides his daughter? No, I don't. Until Brad just now, who I just got his number so I could call him.
Moving on up.
Yeah, I mean, I got his sister-in-law's the other day. She did text me, and I was like, oh, okay, I better save this.
Yep.
And we've been dating 10 years, so, I mean, that is what it is. Anyways, what else you got for girl code? I can't.
That one's your one, the one that you always tell me about when we're going places.
Oh, yeah, and this is my mom. This is a Sherry Vaughn thing. When you're going out, you look like you dress to go to the same party.
Yep.
My mom was always big about that. Like, if I had plans with my friend, she was like, where y'all going? What are y'all doing? Da-da-da-da. What's she wearing? I need to dress like you're going to the same party. So she didn't want you to embarrass your friend by dressing so much better than your friend, but she also didn't want you to embarrass yourself by not being dressed as well as your friend. Yeah. So it goes both ways.
Got to be on the same level.
You need to look like you're going to the same party.
Yeah. That's a perfect way to put it, too. Like, we're obviously going to the same place. Yeah.
And so Kelly and I are notorious for look like we're going to the same party, only I'm the country version and she's the rock and roll.
Yes.
I mean, am I wrong?
It's the perfect.
And so we met up a few weeks ago for that boots and brunch thing.
Yes.
And
we both had new dresses on.
Yeah, brand new dresses, and we were all looking cute. And then today we met up and I hadn't dressed up in a minute. And so I hadn't worn that dress again because it's been like a month and a half probably. And I was like, well, I'm going to wear that new dress again. And so I put it on. I show up to pick her up and she's in the same outfit she was when I wore what I wore last time.
We were in our boots and brunch.
Yeah.
I was like,
laughing.
how did we just do this?
Yeah, we both had hats on.
Black hats.
Yeah.
That was perfect.
Perfect. So look like you're going to the same party, compliment each other that way. Because, girl code is more than about men. It's about making each other look good and feel good and all, all that good stuff,
Really is. That's another really good girl code is like goes into our women supporting women. That's big girl code. Okay. You got friends, you support them, you support the things that they're into, whether it's showing up to events for them or getting products for them or whatever small thing you can do to help build them up, even if it's just a compliment or whatever, being a good friend.
Yeah.
Building them up. That's awesome.
I agree. But y'all let us know what you think your perception of girl code and the rules are with girl code.
I'd love to hear some more guy codes too.
I will say this is another girl code that doesn't have anything to do with men or going out. But I feel like girl code is if I feel a way about a friend of mine, I don't share it with a different friend of mine unless I feel comfortable saying it to the friend first.
True.
So like if I'm having an issue, I can say to the friend, hey, I got an issue. Like, this is what's up. Like, I don't care how you're doing this, whatever. But I shouldn't go to my other friends and being like, she's really pissing me off. Like, this is what's up. Because until you have that conversation, you don't know where she's coming from.
True.
And so it's like you're putting something out there that's half information, So I always feel like you shouldn't have conversations with other people about your friends unless you feel comfortable saying it to your friend's face and you've done it first. Now, could you bounce things off of them? Yes.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a different kind of conversation.
Yes, it's not talking negative. It's like, hey, I'm having an issue with so-and-so. What do you think I should do?
Yeah.
What would you do? This is what I'm thinking I'm going to do. That's different than this bitch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's true, yes.
Those are two different conversations.
It really is.
And I always try to filter it. How would I want my friend to talk about me?
Very true.
And if she had a problem with me, how would I want her to address me? And how is it okay if she runs this by someone? And how would I want her to run it by it? So I do try to filter it that way so that I'm not like doing, I don't want to be disrespectful and hurt our friendship because I had a misunderstanding.
That's true.
And if you are good friends with women, you're going to have misunderstandings.
Oh, yeah.
Or, just miscommunications.
Yep.
Or whatever. You're going to have
Different
things happen.
perspectives.
That's part of being friends. It's a relationship.
And you're always learning and growing with one another.
Yeah.
So it's okay to step on toes here and there as long as you keep on dancing. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You're learning. You're learning to dance. That is a good analogy. Look at you, Kelly, killing it. That's good. What else we got? Where are we next?
We're going to talking about our weekend that we were so awesomely dressed up for.
I know. So Kelly and I were like, we need a girls' weekend. We need to. I've had a rough week. We're gonna go into that next. I've had a rough week, and we're gonna go into a small portion of
We've
it.
gone into some because that's the podcast that I'm trying to download currently, so that they have.
Yes, but we'll go into it a little bit more. So I had a rough week. So Kelly's like, we need a girls' day. I'm like, we do need a girls' day. And so we were like, today's a girls' day. So we made plans to, meet up. And so we started our morning at like 10 with champagne. There was no mimosa.
Okay, I tried to.
We put no fruit in that. It was champagne.
She came over and I was like, so I don't have any orange juice for the mimosas, but I have cranberry juice. And she's like, I don't need any juice. I was like, yeah, me either. So I filled them all the way up with champagne. So I'm saying we had mimosas, but we just had a bottle of champagne.
Yeah. And then we left there, and there's this big thing in Waxahachie, which is, if you are a new listener, we live in Waxahachie, Texas, which is just south of Dallas, and it's the beginning of the country. And they have a little thing they do every year called Vintage Market Days, and it's Waxahachie, Maypearl, Cleburne. It's all these little towns out here, Grandview. And they have a bunch of, there's some antique dealers, mom and pop things, any kind of thing where you're going to see a bunch of canopies, food, whatever. So we went to go do that in Maypearl today, and I texted Kelly last night. I think this is a text conversation. And I was like, hey, I want to get a finger tattoo. It just hit me last night. I decided last night I needed a finger tattoo. I just decided that needed to happen. I've thought about it many times before, but I've never really thought like, what would I get? What would I do? But I like finger tattoos.
Never decided on something.
I do like a lot of tattoos. I don't have a lot of tattoos that are like, I don't have a lot of tattoos, but the tattoos I have, now too are like right up front. You can't miss them. Like I don't have a problem with tattoos, so I'm trying to show them. If I'm gonna go through it, I'm gonna get it. I have another on my back you can't see, but whatever. And but you know they got me. With me, I have so few. I like to think it through. So I'm like, let's get a tattoo, a friendship tattoo. What do you want to get? And she was like, I don't know.
Zeta said, I want to get Blanche. I want to get the word Blanche.
Not just, that's not how it started. I said, I want a friendship tattoo. And I was trying to think of things that were, to me, reminded me of Kelly and my friendship.
Oh, okay.
And so I was like, Golden Girls.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. Because I feel like we're like the Golden Girls in ways, you know, and my other friends too, like it's a group. And so I was like, Golden Girls. So then I was like, Gigi, like Golden Girls. And then I was like, no, I'm not going to get Gigi. Because I call my grandmother, when she became a great grandmother, we start calling you Gigi in my family. So I was like, no, that's a great grandmother. So then I was like, what else do we have in common? So I'm like thinking of things. And then I'm like, I am a Golden Girl. My middle name is Blanche. I'm just going to get Blanche on my finger. I'm a Golden Girl.
Yep.
And by then, Kelly was iffy if she was going to get something. So I was like, well, I guess if I'm going to get something, it doesn't have to be the friendship. We can do that later. So I'm going to get Blanche. And then I'm like, then we're talking. I'm like, you should get your middle name. Maybe you can get your middle. She was like, I do kind of want to get my middle name. So Kelly got Lauren.
Yep.
And we got them on our middle finger. So we have our middle names on our middle finger.
Yep.
So we can flip you off with our middle name because it's our alter ego.
I don't flip people off, but now I do.
Yeah. Ever since then, we flipped everybody off. We're like, bleh.
I'm just showing you my new tattoo. That's it.
Yeah.
So if somebody's like, why do you have that on your middle finger? I'm like, because it's my middle name. I'm a middle finger.
Yeah.
What are you thinking about? You need to get your mind out of the gut.
And it's perfectly placed on the inside of our middle finger so that if we want to hide it, it's relatively hidden.
Yes,
you
because
really
it's
can't see
facing
it.
towards us. It's not facing out.
Yeah. So we'll post that and you'll get to see our middle names on our
We
middle
love it.
fingers. So we went antiquing and getting middle names on middle fingers.
And we got lots. And I really love that we saw so many people that we know.
Yes.
That was so much fun. I love to be able to support like small business
businesses.
anyways. And so
Yeah.
when it's somebody that you know as a friend, it makes your heart feel even better.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is the guy with the barbecue place. I was like, we know him. We got to get a barbecue sandwich. Oh, they're selling candles. We know her. We got to buy a candle. Oh, you know, everywhere we went, we're like, we got to do that. We got to buy it. They're here. You know what I mean? So, which is cool. And I love everything we got,
Yeah, I do too.
you know. When we went to get the tattoos, I'm talking to the girl that's doing it, Sophie, AKA, what'd she say?
She goes by Boots.
She goes by Boots. And what's the name of the tattoo shop?
It is Inky Blinders in Maypearl, Texas.
Inky Blinders.
Yes. And her name is Sophia, and she goes by Boots, and she's awesome.
She was adorable. She was a young girl. And so Kelly ran out to my truck to get something. And while she was gone, I was talking to her. And I was kind of telling her the story of Blanche, my middle name, because Blanche, I'm named after my great aunt. And she was kind of amazing. She worked for the Smithsonian. She never married or had kids and made her life about her. And this was back in like the 1940s when women didn't do that. And she was just kind of a cool lady. So I'm telling her the story. And by the time we were done, she was like, what's the name of this podcast? I think I'm going to listen to this.
Yeah. I was like, you need to. I'm going to give you a shout out. So.
Yeah, but she did a great job.
Thank
She
you
was
for our
having fun.
tattoos.
Yeah, great personality. And she was like, I'll touch them up for free because, you know, when you get one on your finger, they don't stay. Like, you have to get them touched up.
They're a maintenance tattoo.
They are a maintenance tattoo, but that's where I wanted it. So
We're going with it now.
We're going with it now. We're going with it now.
Ain't no going back.
So we did that. And then we were like, well, let's go. We had heard it's still in Waxahachie, but we didn't know where it was this whole vintage market days. And so we had seen tents as we drove by this. There's a real big park here called Getzendaner Park. We assumed it was there. It was not. It was a different festival and a marathon of some kind.
Yeah. We're like, we're not in
running
marathon shape right now. So
yeah, but we did show up for 2 festivals, and we narrowly missed a marathon. And then we had time to kill, so we went antiquing in downtown Waxahachie, and then we decided to just randomly record. So that is how our Saturday and our weekend has gone, and no complaints. It was a good day, right?
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did too. It was fun. We needed today.
Yeah.
So it's kind of what our weekend has been. So this is what I was going to talk about. That was, for me to put back for later. I had more than a few. I had a number of listeners message me about by the time you hear this, it'll be 2 podcasts ago about the podcast about autism awareness. It's still April. It's the end of April. Well, it's almost the end of April. And that's Autism Awareness Month. And I did discuss the fact that I have 2 children that are now teenagers on the spectrum and kind of what I go through with the spectrum. And so I had a number of listeners message me and ask me to discuss it a little bit more during the month of April because it really helped them because a lot of them have kids on the spectrum. And so they were like, wow, I was like listening to a story about my life and what my kids have gone through.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah. And so I was like, okay, yeah, I can discuss it again. So I want to give you all a little glimpse into this week. So one of my kids, well, it's Zaylee because it's obvious it's a senior. It's kind of hard to hide this. So Zaylee, through everything she's been through, and she's definitely been the most challenged with this. Zola's is a lot more high functioning than Zaylee's, and hers is very high functioning, but her anxiety gets the best of her sometimes. That's the biggest thing we deal with. And it's her senior year, and she has made A and B's through everything she's been through. She's always made A's and B's. She just is a perfectionist with school. She's always loved school. She loves going to school. It's never been a problem. I've never had to tell her, hey, did you do that homework? She's on it.
Yeah.
Until this semester. And she had a little long-time boyfriend and they broke up, and I don't know, senioritis. And
Yeah.
she always struggles at the end of the year just wanting to go to school because it's the end of the year and just her brain, she can't handle the fact that things are about to change.
Yeah, I can see how that could be kind of daunting.
Yeah. And so she just suddenly doesn't want to go to school. And I'm at work already. I have to be at work at 6 a.m. So I leave my house at about 5 o'clock and 5:20, between 5 and 5:20. And I wake her up right before I leave. And they leave at 7:30, her and her brother do. And some days she goes back to sleep and her brother wakes her up and vice versa. But she used to just always make it. No problem. I could count on it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, every day is a new excuse. My stomach hurts, this, that. There's always something.
Yeah.
I have no clean clothes, like the craziest things. And she stopped turning in homework, and she just got a combination of senioritis, autism, the fact that there's about to be change, I'm sure is messing with her head.
Yeah.
The little boyfriend, her breaking up, the little boyfriend's new little girlfriend messing with her.
Oh, no.
Emotionally, like, trying to egg her on. And so it's just been a lot for her. And so it's a lot for me if it's a lot for her.
Yeah.
Like when you have kids, what they feel, you feel. And on top of what you feel, they feel. So you're feeling all this pain they're feeling. And on top of all the pain you're feeling that they feel, they put you through hell. She can't like turn it off. So if she's mad, she's taking it out on me. And it is exhausting. I don't know how else to put it. It is exhausting. Emotionally and physically. It is exhausting. And so the last week, every day, all day, I am having a text conversation with her, like, I don't want to be here. I hate this. Pick me up. It is a mind fuck is the best way I can see it. It is a mind fuck 24/7 as long as she's at school. So every day, Monday through Friday, I am spending all day long reassuring her, calling teachers, calling principals. Is she okay? They're letting me know, okay, she's in my office. She's crying.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's rough, man. It is an emotional, mess. So us having this girls' day, I was like, I need this. Like, Kelly knew I was struggling. And so Kelly was like, we need this. We're doing this. I was like, we are doing this. I need to get away from my children. I love them, but I believe in, preserving your own mental health.
Yes. That's important.
And so I was like, I got to get out too. So I'm like, all right. And we're doing something Saturday. And so she needs to do her homework and catch up on one more class she's working on and, whatever. And so I told her, I said, I'm going to spend the day with Kelly on Saturday. She did not take that well.
No.
Because she has she has extreme separation anxiety.
Yeah.
Unless it's something she wants to do. Mm-hmm. So if she has plans, she has no problem being away from me. If something she wants to do, no problem. If I have something, we have a problem.
Yeah.
So I got a full-on guilt trip this morning. And I was like, you know what? I just point blank told her, listen, I spend all my time protecting your mental health. I have to protect mine.
Yeah.
And you have worn me out and I need a break. I love you to death. You're wonderful, but I have to leave. Like you're 17. Hang out in the house. I'll be back. Mm-hmm. And she did not take it well. And I still walked out the door.
Well, that's good.
You have to. You have to. That's just it with being an autism parent is that, you live your life with these kids. And I've been 17 years of this. I swear I have PTSD. I am fucking exhausted. It is the hardest thing
You do
I've
have to
ever
do.
done. It is like having a jealous boyfriend and husband rolled into one. Like it's like two pissed off men. Anything I do. So if I get up in the morning and I go run an errand on a Saturday morning and I don't get home before she wakes up, we have a problem. Where are you? Why are you gone? Why did you not take me? Why did you not wake me up?
Yeah.
Girl, I need a break. Like I just want to go in peace.
Yeah.
You know? And so autistic parents, I'm just trying to put it out there. I get it, man. It's fucking hard. It's hard. We love our kids. We want to do the best for our kids. We want to be there for our kids, but you have to take time for yourself.
Yes.
And today was really good for me, and I ended up with a tattoo, so it really worked out well. I'm gonna get home. She's like, "Why are you okay? You were waiting for me to get a tattoo?"
Like,
Yep. You can't see Kelly just flipped off with her middle finger with her middle name on it. That wasn't Kelly. That was Lauren.
This is my new favorite finger. Just on this side though. Not that one. This one's jealous over here.
I know. So that's my little autism awareness spot to put out there. It's hard. And lean on your friends and
Lean on me.
Yes, but also make sure your friends understand what you're going through, because if they don't have kids in the boat, they don't understand. You have to tell them.
Yeah, you really do. And it's very insightful to me because I always want to, like when we talked the other day, and all I could say is, what can I do for you? Because I have no clue. I don't know what that's like. I don't know what it is that you would need to help center yourself better, or alleviate some stress, or what it is that I could do personally to help you out with that. And so simply asking the people around you what it is that you can do for them. Don't ask, I mean, ask them how they are, but if they simply are like, give you the excuse of, or the saying of, oh, I'm good, I've been fine. Go a little bit deeper and ask them what you can do for them.
Yeah.
See if that's really what they're saying, or if that's not what they really mean.
And it might be something major, like I need to watch my kids for a day and let me go get a pedicure.
Right. And then you're going to be sorry you asked. And I'm
Yeah. Or it could be like, I need a girl's day. Or it could be like, I need a drink. Let's go get a drink. And I need 1 hour with you.
Or I just need you to sit and talk for a second. Can I just unload on you for a second and you just take it?
So like the other day, Kelly and I came in here to record, and this is why we were late on this week's episode. We did show up at the studio to record.
We sat down. We got everything ready.
We were ready to go. I did not record. I was a mess. I did not feel like I could put on a good show. I did not feel like it was anything anyone wanted to hear. I was a mess. I couldn't even think of one thing to talk about.
Yeah.
Which is weird for me because I don't shut the fuck up. I was just upset, and I'd had a rough day, and I'd had a rough week, and it was just a beating. And Kelly was like, fuck this podcast. Let's just talk. And that was the best thing for what I needed. Yeah. So thank you, Kelly. And y'all pay attention to your friends. So not just the autism moms, the non-autism moms that have autism mom friends.
Yeah.
Look at your friend. Is she exhausted? Like, does she need a break?
She need to pick me up.
She need to pick me up. You know what I mean? So like, pay attention to your friends. That's the best. It's a hard job, man. It's hard.
It is. It takes all of us.
It does. It takes a village, you know? So that's my little autism spiel for this week.
I do have a little happy little tidbit of information.
What's that?
Guess what we got back?
What?
Our 1 star.
Oh, I saw that.
I said, oh, there you are. Where'd you go?
But now I don't trust it. Now I wonder if it's not like
Sketchy.
a algorithm thing.
Now I'm just like a man. I'm just waiting for you to leave me again. How long are you going to stick around this time before you're off on to your next?
I saw that and I just giggled. And I saw it because it came like the day after our podcast. I think that's when I noticed it. The day after our podcast released about autism. And I thought, if someone's giving us a 1 star because I was emotional, then fuck you. Fine.
I don't know if that was it. Fuck around and find out.
Fuck around and find. Tell them about that. This is funny.
So I don't often get on social media, but I do have my Instagram account. So I was actually on the other day and I was scrolling through, and there was this one that a lady was answering a question because somebody had noticed her necklace, and she has this like,
sorry, that's my phone.
oh yeah, she has like this dainty gold necklace that has some cursive letters, and the letters are FAFO. And they're like, what does FAFO mean? What does that what is that? So she's like, oh, thank you so much for asking. These are actually my kids' initials. My first child's name is Fuck Around, and my other child's name is Find Out. So yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, I just like to wear this around my neck. It's just a reminder, you know.
And I tell everybody that my parenting style is fuck around and find out. I even tell my children this, y'all. I have no.
Yeah.
I will say my daughter, the principal called the other day because Zaylee was really struggling at school emotionally and had her in the office and she's talking to her about what she's not been doing. And so she's extra emotional. And when she gets like that, she is hypersensitive and she just can't shut up.
Yeah.
Like it is bad. She's mean and disrespectful and it's a problem. And I don't put up with it. But when you're not in the room with her and you're on the phone, it makes it more difficult to handle.
Yeah.
So the vice principal calls me and says, I got Zaylee in the office. This is what we're talking about. She's struggling today. Da, 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 da. And she is disagreeing with everything the principal has to say. And the principal is not lying or being wrong. And she's just struggling. And I went off on her like I would. And I literally said, fuck around and find out. I dropped the F-bomb probably 10 times, y'all. If you do not approve my parenting style, this is the wrong fucking podcast.
Okay.
You give me a 1. I don't give a fuck. I don't. I've had 4 kids. I had to parent all 4 different. You know, for older 2, I was fucking like babying them. These younger 2, fuck around and find out. Like they get a different parent. They determined what parent they got is the way I see it. So I'm not like cussing her out, but I'm talking like I talk. The way you hear me talk on the podcast is how I talk.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
you don't censor that for anybody.
I don't know what the fuck you're thinking. What I say, I don't know who the fuck you think you're talking to, but this bitch ain't the one you think you're talking to. Fuck this shit. I ain't your bitch. You're gonna talk to me like I'm some dumb bitch putting up with this shit. Like this is how I'm talking. Principal is, I said, and then when we're done, I'm very sorry. I apologize. But
I'm gonna come up and put some money in your swear jar.
Yeah, and the vice principal is like, Zada, I expected nothing less. Keep up the good work.
You get a gold star for the day.
You get a gold star. But I'll tell you what, she shut her fucking mouth and listened and actually had a better day and turned it around. So it worked.
Tell you what.
I mean, fuck around and find out.
Some people need that tough love.
They do. And it's not my natural parenting instincts.
Yeah,
this
that's
is
not what you want to go straight to.
No, and it definitely isn't. I was very deep into parenthood, 2 kids in before this parent came out of me. But this is what this kid needs. Now, younger kid, he needs her on occasion, but not really. Mm-hmm. Zaylee's the only one that has to have her in place. I have to be the kindest and most gentle with her. And I have to be the most abrupt and mean with her, depending on what I'm getting.
Yep. It's both extremes there.
Yeah. She needs her middle name on her middle finger.
She does.
But it doesn't suit her, actually. Her middle name does not suit her at all. Her middle name's Grace, and that was her dad's
That
idea.
was wishful thinking.
I love her middle name, but it does not suit her. I wanted to name her.
Maybe it would help remind her to use a little bit of it from
a little
time
bit of
to
grace.
time.
Yeah. I wanted to name her Zaylee Jane. I just thought it sounded really cute, but I was outnumbered.
That is cute.
I know, right? I know what I was talking about. Anyways, so look what I did. I don't know what
you
I did.
messed it all up. I don't know why you were touching stuff over there. Zada's messing stuff up on the board.
I was just trying to get it off Bluetooth and my phone didn't make noises and I don't know what I did.
Oh,
But it's still
no.
recording.
It's okay.
There it is. We're at 42 minutes. We're good.
Yeah.
What else we got? Anything else today?
That's all on our plate. We done ate up our plate.
We did eat up our plate.
We left no crumbs.
But because we did it on a Saturday, there's a chance there'll be another episode.
That's very true. We're 1 in already, and so we can drop it.
We'll see what happens later this week.
Soon.
Will we get a tattoo elsewhere?
Bum, bum, bum.
Middle finger? Or it goes to middle toe? Forehead? You never know.
Head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
Knees and toes. So join us again on the next episode and find us on Facebook. I'm Zada Owens. I'm Z Mamacita on Instagram. And Kelly.
I'm Kelly Lady Pearl on Instagram. And if you'd like to email the podcast, our podcast email is 2sidesinthetruthpodcast@outlook.com.
All right. We'll talk to y'all next time.
Bye.